13, I moved back to Huntsville to live with my mother. Okay, and that's when I started the Councill High School. As I mentioned before, back in those days, if you were black and you finished the 6th grade in the county, if you continued school, you was either Councill training or Councill High. And if you lived in the county, you went to Councill training. And if you lived in the city, you went to Councill High School. And I remember my first day, 7th grade now, I remember my first grade at Councill High School. I must have gotten there 2 hours ahead of time that morning, and I couldn't imagine how come there's nobody at school but me. So I was around 13, and when I came to Councill High School. And of course, I was in the 7th grade, and Mr. Ward and Mr. Rooks and that bunch was a grade ahead of me. They were in 8th grade. Okay? And I think this is probably somewhere around maybe 32, 33, something like that. I'm not sure. I can't keep up.
That's long.
Okay. The last school that I went to in the county was known for all, and that's out here on Stringfield. You know where the church is, the graveyard? Mm-hmm. There was a school, there was a large hall, and there was a church, and I guess the church is still there. Okay. And Miss Roper was a teacher. You know Miss Roper? You know Chippy, her son? Mm-hmm. Okay. Miss Roper was from a musical family. Okay, I'll tell you about that later. Okay, but that was the last school that I attended in the county. At Councill High School, during World War II, age 14, 15, and 16, the war started, when did the war start? 1941? Okay, somewhere back there. But anyway, those of us who were 14, 15, and 16 years old at Councill High School, and I guess all the other high schools, all the older boys had been drafted into the military. Mm-hmm. All the men teachers were gone to the Army. At Councill High School, when I was 14, 15 years old, there were no men teachers at Councill High School. They were all women teachers. Miss Fearon and Miss Gandy were co-principals for the school.
I know Miss Gandy.
You don't know Miss?
I know her.
You know Miss Gandy?
No,
Miss Fearon was Dr. Fearon's wife.
I know Dr. Fearon.
Okay, they were co-principals at Councill High School. So, because there were no men teachers and there were no athletic programs at Councill High School, those of us who were 14, 15, 16 years old were restless. We had nothing to do. You know, we were restless. We didn't have anything to do. So, and we wanted to have a football team, and there was some guy who coached at one of the funeral homes, who worked at one of the funeral homes, NIMS I think, was willing to coach a football team, but they wouldn't let him coach because he didn't work at the school. So, as the war went on, and somewhere around 1941, 42, 43, somewhere in that area, some of us signed up to go to California to work in the shipyard. 15, 16 years old. My mother said, no way. No way, you know. And I'm in the 9th grade. But I was a little bit hard-headed, I guess, and I was determined because we want to do something. We want to do something. We want to get involved in the war and something, you know.
Exactly. When did you attend Councill High? And just
I attended Councill High and started in the 40s and on up through 59.
59.
Councill High School has always been one of the greatest black schools in South Huntsville, Southwest Huntsville, and had great teachers and great athletic program and everything. It was very nice. Councill High.
Well, tell me about the surrounding areas, you know.
Well, the surrounding areas was very nice. It was predominantly a black area over in the Grove. They call it the Grove.
Yes, sir.
And later after I came out of the Korean War in '54, they had built Councill High, Council Court, and with very nice apartments, well kept, good people, clean and very neat, very disciplined, and a nice place to live at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was a very nice neighborhood, well kept, and I really enjoyed living there when I lived there at the time. Well, at the time that they had some good recreation around Council Courts, few of the nice clubs. The one club was called Behind the Moon, which later changed over to Club of Huntsville, which was a very nice place.
Okay, where was it located?
It was located on Half Street, which is St. Clair now.
Okay.
And before then, that was one sitting on Half and Turner called the Paradise Inn.
Oh,
It was very nice.
I was waiting for my time.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
It was owned and operated by blacks, and everything was nice, you know, good neighborhood, and wasn't very much activities going, like violence and nothing.
Yeah.
I enjoy myself out, and of course I was very young then.
Oh, yeah.
And then later on, the Royal Palm Chicken Shack, which later turned to Adela Supper Club.
Oh, man. Y'all
It was
had-
owned and operated where the big time bands and orchestras come.
Yes, sir.
And I remember at a very early age going there just before I went into service to see Charles Brown and the Diamond Holes. And it was very nice.